All right, guys, we got some new action. Cardi B versus Candace Owens, round like 50. I don't know if you guys have been following, but there was just a Twitter exchange between Candace and Cardi following Cardi B's disgusting Grammys stripper set. I don't know what we're calling it. Candace and her exchanged some words on Twitter. We're going to cover all the action. Pick your fighter. Are you on the side of Candace Owens, self-made, lovely, free thinker, or are you on the side of Cardi B, former stripper, prostitute, can't spell? Choice is yours. This episode is brought to you by Fleccas Talks, the store. ShopFleccas.com. I'm rocking the OG pink Fleccas hoodie. If you know, you know. If you don't, catch up. All right, let's get into it. So the whole thing started with this tweet right here. It says, Candace Owens says WAP, a acronym I'm not going to define in the show, being performed at the Grammys signifies the corrosion and end of an empire. Makes sense. Sounds about right. So then Cardi said, yay, we made it on Fox, guys. WAP, WAP, WAP. And keep in mind, WAP is wet-ass
Thought you weren't going to tell people.
I'm going to censor it after.
Okay.
Which you can't even say in the song. So on TV, she wasn't even able to sing her own song because the title of the song has an obscenity in it. And some people are coming in saying like, oh, this is her embracing her sexuality. Nothing wrong with this. It's not embracing sexuality when you're on national TV, primetime on CBS, doing porn basically, right? That's not embracing anything. So Candace replies, just at me next time directly. You are cancer cell to culture. Young black girls are having their minds poisoned by what you are trying to package and sell to them as empowerment. I'm one of the few who has the courage to tell you the truth. You should thank me. And instead of thanking her, Cardi B, who can't spell, like we said, decides to engage in a little bit of Twitter beef. So let's see what happens. Cardi B replied with something that she, I guess, deleted since then. And Candace replied to that saying, the reason my comments always get you in your feelings is because deep down you know what I'm saying is true. You are in a position to empower young women to aspire to something more than taking off their clothes, but you don't feel you can be more. This whole argument is made political, but it really shouldn't be. It isn't political. It's just truth versus deception, truth versus lies. Candace in this case is speaking the truth. The seller of the lies in this case is Cardi B, and also the media. Look at CNN. Look what they wrote about it. CNN said, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion served up a very sex-positive performance. That's who's selling the lies. What do those lies cost? Your soul. And is anyone going to correct Cardi B? Is Cardi B's family going to stop the money from coming in and the new life they have? No. Where's Cardi B's brother during this? And my sister wouldn't be dancing on stage doing any sort of WAP thing. But I guess if my sister gave me a Bentley, she could do whatever she wants. Maybe.
That's what I think Cardi B's family's dealing with.
I think that's what's going on. So Cardi B responds, matter of fact, I'm just going to thank you, Candy. She put my performance on Fox News, giving it more views that boosted the views on YouTube and is counting towards my streams and sales. Stream up and WAP. Remember, grown parents, only you can monitor what your kids watch, no one else. Except when it's on CBS. Like if you make the video yourself and you put it online for sale or whatever, fine. This is CBS primetime. Like a few years ago, there were actually restrictions on like what kind of things were allowed, and they had to always like check in. They had a standard that just doesn't exist anymore. So Candace replies, I don't work for Fox News. Bill Collis. Bill Collis is Cardi B's real name. Cardi B was calling her Candy. Candace is calling Cardi B Bill Collis. Nor do I take issue with you having success. I take issue with you being used to encourage young women to strip themselves of dignity. Men typically treat women how they treat themselves. You know that. Which is absolutely true. We saw that with Offset. Cardi B's husband or whatever, I don't think it's husband, but Offset cheated on Cardi B a bunch, and she took him back. He's trash. She's trash. She doesn't respect herself. He doesn't respect her. And that's what happens. You live a trash life. Kind of how it works. And that's like the problem with feminism, too, where it used to be like women had high standards and brought men up to their standards, but feminism was like, you're a man, you do whatever you want, men do it. And then that brought women down, and they started doing gross shit like us. And now society has to pay for it. Moving on.
Very fair.
So Cardi B replies with a picture of Melania Trump, I guess, in some like kind of like a skimpier outfit and like from her modeling days, which the tweet was once again deleted. And Candace replied to that saying, what is your obsession with the Trump family? You are digging up modeling shots of our former first lady from 3 decades ago. She has evolved. You have not. What you did at the Grammys was disgusting. Own it. Which is 100% true. Like Cardi B constantly is trying to find things that like she selectively remembers that help her argument, but then she won't take the issue head on of like what you did at the Grammys was gross. And that's just like the back and forth we were seeing here pretty much the entire time. So Cardi B replies about Melania Trump saying, I'm obsessed. She's my idol. She showed me I can be naked, perform WAP, and still be first lady one day. Wait, so only white women can be naked and show their sexuality and evolve in their 30s, but I can't? Wow, America's so unfair. To think this is the land of the free. Candace replies, "You are insecure and I irk you because I see right through the facade. You are a part of the larger cancer that is manifesting in black culture. There's no person in America who can look you in the face and honestly say they wish their daughters turned out like you." Absolute headshot, absolute drag. Like, absolute headshot. And that's just it.
Find me the guy.
Find me a guy. Do you want your daughter to be like Cardi B? Let me know in the comments. I'll pin it. And like, all of this wouldn't really be an issue if Cardi B was a normal performer who was kind of raunchy and like lived in her own world that way. Cardi B's being promoted by the entire music establishment, the entire media. She's being propped up. She was a Billboard 2020 Woman of the Year. The former hooker prostitute who like drugged and robbed people and admitted it. That's the Woman of the Year. Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's not get upset. Let's keep it moving. And then Cardi B replied, "And black women should be more like you. After all the fighting for equality and freedom, they should be submissive to a white man after years of abuse and rape, making them a sandwich while pregnant, because in your words, that's what a woman should do. Interesting." And she showed a video of Candace making her husband a sandwich and saying that's what women should do, which, you know, I'm fine with that. The world would have you think women shouldn't be taking care of their families and cooking and at home and doing doing that if that's what they choose to do. The world will have you think that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion or whatever on stage is like acceptable. CBS is going to show it to you. CNN's going to tell you it's great. So it's like those are the two options. Those are the two worlds. I don't like the world. If not living for the world is having a family and a wife who like likes to make you sandwiches and you don't have to go outside and deal with all like the hookers and stuff, I mean, that don't sound so bad. But then Candace says, "Making my husband a sandwich is not submissive. Cooking for your family is not submissive. Yes, a good woman should take care of her family, and yes, a good man does the same. My relationship is healthy. You can't say the same, so maybe take some notes," which is true. Candace followed up with, "If you think making your husband a sandwich is a sin, but popping your vagina into another woman's vagina in front of the world is power, you are a lost soul." Which is basically what this whole thing comes down to. Cardi B is a lost soul. She's a puppet. She got paid money. She doesn't know what she's doing, and she's promoting things that are subverting what's best for this country, like subverting American values, subverting traditional values, and it's like creating this toxic world where like women are going to grow up and have this bad image of what good is, and it's really going to ripple badly in our society if you don't call it out. That's how I see it. Rapboy, do you agree?
Don't bring me into this, but yes, I agree.
Rapboy don't want to come into this one. So then Candace replied again to the original sandwich tweet about her husband from Cardi B saying, "You always love to mention my husband's skin tone, so let me ask, what color are the people that are encouraging you to strip in front of the world? Who owns your record labels? Who owns CBS and the Grammys? Who makes the most money off of your WAP? You sold it to who?" So then Cardi B says, "As a black woman, you should know better than that. You know DEUM, D-E-U-M for damn." When we said she can't spell and she's not literate, we weren't just saying that. DEUM. I'm going to read it how she meant it. So, as a black woman, you should know better than that. You know damn well America made a caricature of a black woman only being good in the kitchen and taking care of children, also known as the mammy. Okay, so if you're saying because Candace Owens is supportive of her family and provides for them and cooks for them, that she's a sellout and she's a mammy, and that's her caricature, what's your caricature, Cardi B?
Some sort of yelling prostitute.
Yeah, some sort of shouting former prostitute being used by the elites to enact a satanic agenda. I don't know. And then Candace replied with, "Because I will literally make my husband a sandwich every single day of the week. You're struggling right now to change the topic because you're ashamed of your performance, and you should be. You look foolish trying to make your onstage lesbian simulation about a sandwich." Once again, Cardi B can't take the issue head on, diverting to here, diverting to here. Cardi B replies, "Candy, stop blaming my label for me being sexual. Before I got signed to a label, I was very much open to my sexuality. You knew I was a stripper. You watched me in Love and Hip Hop. You knew all that other stuff, yet you still endorsed me in this tweet. You did. Case closed." Case is not closed. It's an old tweet where Candace said that her, Cardi B and Denzel could be people that are like freedom-minded and woke and could become like red-pilled. This was years ago. Obviously, it didn't pan out. And then Candace replied, "You're all over the place trying to make people look at anything but the issue at hand. Your performance was grotesque. This is not about Love and Hip Hop. This is not about my husband's sandwich. This is about you and the vulgarity that you espouse that is ruinous to our youth. Ruinous to our youth.
You think Cardi B's doing like dictionary.com in between some of these tweets, like during the beef?
I don't think Cardi B can espouse. So, vulgarity that you espouse that is ruinous to our youth, espouse that is ruinous to our youth, Cardi B's like,
What this mean?
with her nails,
Yeah.
and she's probably like typing. Oh man! So then Cardi B replies saying how Candace basically like endorsed her at one point, so that means she endorsed her forever. And Candace replies with, "Every time you and I get into a Twitter exchange, you keep bringing up this tweet. So let me reiterate: I still think you have potential. You are entertaining and funny, but you are not being that anymore. You have transformed into a stain on culture and what it means to be a woman." So it's like saying you're funny, you have potential. There's a redemption arc. It's not a cancellation. It's not, oh, let's get rid of Cardi B. She's horrible and let's put her on the shelf forever and forget about her stuff and delete her music. That's what the left does. There's a redemption arc here saying you have potential. You have a huge responsibility. You have a huge platform. Millions of girls look up to you. Do the right thing, or at least like get on the track to do the right thing and know that you need to do the right thing by them. Cardi don't think like that. So Candace replied to that with, "Millions of young girls follow you. At your best, you are self-deprecating and humorous. At your worst, you are naked and shoving your vagina into other women's vaginas while thrusting on top of her. You were at your worst on the Grammy stage. Do better." So here's the reply from Cardi B, which is the ultimate diversion. We're saying how she's diverting all night. This is the ultimate diversion, and it's the ultimate double down in a bad direction. So Cardi B says, "Not you talking about two women thrusting their vaginas together while your husband and brother slap cocks and together. Well, would you look at that?" And she tags a Photoshop tweet of Candace allegedly saying, "Yes, my husband did cheat on me with my brother. Yes, he said no when I asked to join them." So, like, clearly it's a Photoshopped fake tweet, but I don't know. Is Cardi B just like the stupidest person, or is the person in the room with her just an idiot too? They went for it. They fully went for it, which you'll see gets a little tricky when it comes to legal stuff too. But if you look closely, you can see the tweet says view tweet activity, which you would only see on your Twitter for your tweets, and is underneath Candace's tweet. So the fact that it says view tweet activity shows us that it's a Photoshop tweet, and the person did a bad job because they selected one of their own tweets to copy model-wise. So Candace says, "I'm literally laughing out loud. Cardi, my dear, that is clearly a Photoshop tweet. Only one of us has a husband who sleeps around." Another headshot. The body's just a mess on the floor right now. We're going to need someone to clean this up. So then Cardi replies with, "This isn't a Photoshop tweet. You were trending the whole day when you tweeted this, and it was published on a lot of blog outlets. Your right mind sleeps around." You're right. Mind sleeps. It's hard to read when the grammar isn't right because you read like a normal person, and then you don't know what people are saying. And you have to read like a dummy to understand how Cardi B thinks sometimes. So you're right. Mine sleeps around, and yours sleeps at yours sleep at your home with your brother coxing while you tweet me. Cardi, please. And then Candace replies, "What in the actual hell are you talking about? Are you dead serious right now trying to substantiate a Photoshop tweet? Asking one more time before I get the lawyers to make you publicly admit you're lying and embarrass yourself," which is the action I like to see. I love when the lawyers get involved, just not against me. So the final tweet of the exchange, Candace replied to someone who said, "Just sue her already." Candace said, "Yes, just spoke with my family. I am 100% suing Cardi for that nonsense. You can't just start throwing out wild lies against private members of my family because you're upset someone called you out for your degenerate performance. I'll keep you all posted." And it's like, if you're wondering where the line is, who's right, who's wrong, obviously Candace is correct, but if you really wanted to think it out, imagine there's like a 13-year-old girl at home watching. Is this good or bad for her to see? Is this good for society or bad for society? Is this helpful and pushing us in a good direction, or is this degenerate and knocking us further from God? We all know the answer to that. So all in all, really good action, really good Twitter beef. Candace once again wins. Cardi will never really beat Candace in a Twitter fight because the truth is on Candace's side, and that's really what this is a battle of. So 4.25 out of 5 stars on the Fleccas scale. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you are looking for OG Fleccas merch, pink hoodies, get them while you still can, shopfleccas.com. Also, we have a brand new shirt, Recall NEWSOM. California people, we need to recall Gavin Newsom. We've been trying to arrest Andrew Cuomo. Now we need to recall Gavin Newsom. Get your shirt while you still can, shopfleccas.com. Best merch in the game. Is there anything else? Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you, Richard Rapboy, for joining me. As always, we'll see you guys at the next one. That was a good episode.
All right, you done?